Hi. Hi there. My name is Gloria, and I am a professional artist. There's so much I want to teach and share with you. So please make sure you subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, ring the bell to get notifications when I post my new videos, and leave me any comments below as to what you would like to paint along with me. Thank you for joining me today. Let's get started. And this is what we're going to try to paint today. I painted this a few years ago, at least 10 or more. I don't know if we're gonna do so much because this is a bigger canvas when I first painted this, so we're gonna do an 8 by 10 today. And I did paint it black. It was white, but because it's gonna have a lot of darks in the backs, I decided to just paint this one in black. Okay, so if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and paint your canvas black, let it dry, and come back to this video. Again, this is where here we go, this is what we're painting. Beautiful forest. Okay, let's get started. I'll leave it here for reference. I got my paints. I got some brown, yellow, red, white, some greens, black, and blue, just in case. Not that I'll use all of them, but I got my brushes. These are the ones more than likely I'll be using. Not that I'll use all of them, but this is what I would like to have handy. And some extra paints are here on my left in case I need some more. Okay, let's get started. Now let's do some greens. Okay, let's see. We're going to grab a big brush. We're going to do this using a big brush. I'm going to start with 1 inch just to get started. Kind of move it around, just loosen it up. Okay, we're going to start with some blue in case we see a little bit of sky in the back. So I'm going to get some blue mixed in with just a tap of white, and we're going to start. However, you're going to notice that my colors might change a little because my canvas is still a little bit of wet, but it's okay. I can always go back and highlight some more. So this is just going to be some of my background because maybe some of the trees will not cover the whole sky. So I'm going to do this throughout, just the top, kind of darken it, give it the illusion that the sky is back there somewhere. How's that? A little bit of white. Here we go. Tap, tap, tap. I'm moving quickly. There you go. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of blue mixed in with the white. The effect that there's the sky is back there somewhere. We might cover it all, we might not, but just in case it's there. Also, another reason I cover the whole canvas black is because if we do miss a spot when we're doing our greens, it's okay because it already got the black background and it's not just a spot of white from the white canvas. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up some of my greens. Green, I'm going to just tap it here. Pick up a little bit of yellow just to kind of lighten it up a little bit. And there we go. And we're just going to go tapping, just tap all over the place. Tap, tap, tap. Especially on the top. Pick up a little bit of yellow again just to lighten up some more spots. A little bit of white added to that. Okay, here we go. Because we just don't want one solid green color. We want a mixture of greens there. Because it's a forest. Beautiful forest, that is. And we want just different greens. See? I don't know if you could tell, but I do see a lot of different greens, and I don't want to cover all my blacks. I want to leave some of those blacks background in the back, the black color. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Tap, tap, tap. Gonna grab a little bit of blue here. Okay. Beautiful. We're gonna do some here. We're gonna do a little darker green here. Dark green here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just give it a little lighter green here. I'm not gonna wet my brush. I'm just gonna dry it with my cloth. I don't want to wet it. Okay, I'm going to, I picked up really light green. Okay, a little bit of green. I'm just kind of defining my foreground to the background, just to kind of have an idea of what I'm going to be doing here. Okay, how's that? Just kind of defining. We're going to come back later and just add highlights to all this. And again, I just want to define what's what. Okay. Oh, we want to go a little darker here. Okay, and we'll want to come down. I'm not worried about keeping the black for the road because we can always put that in. Okay, let's pick up a little bit of green mixed in with the yellow. You see how I'm just going all over the place putting my greens? I just don't want to keep one green here and the same color here. That's why I bounce around, because I want to make sure that I have my greens all over the place. I don't want to keep it uniform. Okay, I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow here just to kind of make it look like it's going uphill. Okay, that just kind of defines that. Now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and add a little more black, and you see where here, because these greens you can hardly see because they're so far back. So I want to make sure. Let's see, here we go. Okay, I think that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and clean my brush again. I'm not going to wet my brush in water. I don't want it to get too watery. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up some yellow, and it might mix in with some of the yellow that I already have in the brush mixed in with the green, but that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to tap some here, pick up some more. I'm going to pick up here. I'm going to add a tap of white because I want it to be a little whiter. Okay, here we go. See? One here, a little bit more white, and I'm going to do this here, da da da, a little bit here. I'm trying to balance my colors. There you go. I think I've done a pretty good job. Okay, now the exciting part is going to be, whoa, we're going to do some pinks, and I am going to wash my brush this time, because pink is a really light color and I don't want it to mix in with any greens or black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some white, a little bit of white, mix it with a little bit of red to make pink, very lightly, because I don't want it to overwhelm anything on my painting. And this is going to go just in the back. Again, this is going to be lighter because these are trees in the back. A little bit here, a little bit there, just kind of give that look like, okay, the trees goes all the way to the back, not just in the front. So again, I'm mixing some more. And I'm doing it really tight. It's almost like a feather light touch. Again, you don't want to press too hard because you're going to get big blobs like mud. You don't want that. Okay? See? Makes it look like this. These pink trees all over the place coming from overhead. Isn't that awesome? I have a friend of mine. Her name is, I don't mind saying it because she's my best friend, Jerry. And she absolutely loves this painting. So I'm sure that she's going to enjoy watching this video. She's also one of my husband's students. My husband is also an artist, and he does teach here in our community. And they just love him. They just love him. He's the one who taught me how to paint back in 2003. And I just kind of took off to continue to paint on my own, besides him, of course. And I'm proud to say that I'm on my own now. Okay, that's awesome. What we're going to do now is we're going to start on some of the trees, and we're going to do the trees in the back. I did wash my brush. I don't want the acrylics to dry on my brush because then it will be ruined, or if not, I have to buy expensive restorers for my brushes, and I don't want to do that. Here, you see, I cleaned it. My 1-inch, my favorite 1-inch brush. Okay, now let's take a break. Let's go get a glass of water or a cup of coffee. We're home, and the nice thing about this is that we can feel right at home. And you're welcome to join me. Let's go have a cup of coffee. Hi, welcome back. I just went for a coffee break. Hope you did the same. Okay, let's get started. What we're going to do is we're going to do some of the trees in the background. And for that, I'm going to pick one of my liners, one of my longest liners, about 1 inch. And we're going to dip it in black. I have several size liners, long ones, short ones, thin ones, thick ones, but this is one of the ones that I love to use because it's so long and it runs so smooth for me. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to do, let's see, we're going to do some in the back. Remember, these don't have to be straight lines. Trees are not always straight. You might want to curve some, which is okay. And we're just going to kind of put them all over the place, okay, because again, it's a forest. Now here in the back, you want to create like a V. You want to make them small here, and the ones that follow are going to get slightly taller, just to give it that look of dimension. Okay, here we go. And when you get to the end over here, when you're doing trees there, don't put them out of the painting. Bring them in. Keep them in. Don't bring it out. Keep it in. Okay? And I'm going to line up some with white so it becomes gray. Okay? Because again, these are the ones in the back. Far, far away. If you don't like that they're so light, it's okay, just pick up a little bit more. See that? Just continue putting as many trees as you like. Pick up a little bit more black, that was too light. See? Far away. I'm just doing little lines here and there. Okay, give it that illusion that there's so many trees back there. And little ones here. How's that? It's beginning to look like a forest, isn't it? Okay, and okay, so let's just pretend we have a twig coming out here somewhere, and as well as here and here, and maybe one coming from this angle. Okay, how's that? See, isn't that beautiful? Do the same here, like that. There you go. Okay, and again, these are the ones in the back. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a smaller liner. Oh, a half an inch. It looks like a half an inch, but as you can tell, then this one is so thin compared to the thick one. I'm washing it. Brushes are expensive. I don't want to ruin them. Okay, so again, we're going to pick up some of the black, and we're going to do little twigs moving here and there. You see that? I'm just kind of wiggling. We're not going to worry so much about the ones that are really in the back, because you can't see them anyway. It's just kind of the ones that are in the foreground. There you go. Okay. Just kind of wiggle your brush. Wiggle almost like you start here to do a twig, and you kind of wiggle it. See? Just wiggle it. And then you can always add to it. See that? You can always add to it and make them pretty. I'm going to add some here. See that? I'm going to add one here. And they're crossing over with the other ones, which is fine. And we're going to do the same here. And we're going to bring this, connect this one to this one. Okay, let's do one here. You see, as many, attach as many as you want. Keep it light, keep it light. I'm going to flip my painting. Look at this. See that? Flip the painting. Getting comfortable here with my chair. You see, I'm going to have one here, one there, one here, one there. Add some here. Going off the canvas here. There you go. This one, we gotta keep it in. And again, they don't have to be straight. If you say, oh, my hands are shaking, I'm nervous, it's okay. You know what? Sometimes when your hand shakes, they even come out more natural. I love it. There's no wrong way of doing these things. Wiggle. See, I think maybe make some gray ones, the far away ones here. You can hardly see these, but they're there. It doesn't look like the flowers on these trees are just kind of floating in the air. You see that? Again, just tap here and there, little lines here and there, makes it look like far away trees. You can't see anything but the tree standing on its own. Okay, let's fix this so you can have a better view of what I'm doing. That was kind of thick there. Okay. I like it. I really do. Okay, and you know what? I can paint this picture of my painting 20 times, and 20 times you will get a different painting. You will not be able to duplicate it. Doesn't matter how many times I try. I cannot duplicate. It always comes out different. Different. Totally different. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of color up there. Okay? But first, before I forget, I'm going to tap this brush in some black, and I'm going to kind of define this a little bit more. It's almost like a hill. You got a hill here, and you have a hill here as well. Okay? So just kind of separate it. Hold on to my canvas, it's flying away. Okay. You see that? I broke it off. Okay, wonderful. I'm going to clean that one. All right. I'm ready to put a little more pink now that we did some of the trees. So with the pink, we're going to cover some of those little twigs. What brush would I like to use? I'm going to use this one. This is one of my crazy brushes. This is not how it used to look when I first bought it. Okay? So you know, where did she get that brush? Nope. It's just got old. It was almost something like this one. It's just got old, and the bristles just kind of spread out. And I say I like it because it gives you a different effect. So what I did was I just kind of played with it for a while and left it in a jar upside down to spread out the bristles even more. And it gives me a beautiful effect, especially when I'm trying to do little bushes or flowers. Just don't throw away your old brushes. They come in handy for different effects, okay? That's just a cool tip. Okay, I'm going to tap it into my pink, picking up a little bit of white. Tap it on the side because I don't want it to be too thick. And we're going to start putting some in the back, okay? Okay, there you go. Here and there, here and there. That goes to show you that there are the trees in the back. They're going to be in the front, but they're also going to be in the back. Okay? Very lightly. Very lightly. I think my coffee is getting cold. There you go. Pick up a little bit more red. To kind of, I don't want to lose the red. There you go, there you go. Oh, beautiful. This is awesome. You just keep tapping very lightly with any brush until you're happy and you say, you know what, I had enough. Especially if you're beginning and you're a little nervous about it, you go ahead and stop. Because sometimes we try to follow the instructor when they're teaching us, and we're trying to do exactly what they're doing, and we mess up the painting. So no, I don't want you to do that. I just want you to stop when you're happy and just wait for me to get caught up, okay? Isn't that beautiful? You see that big blob I said there? I'm not worried about it because I'm going to cover that, okay? So if there's something like that, don't worry about it. We're going to cover it. I think that's enough for now. I'm gonna go ahead and do the trees in the front. Okay, but you know what, before I do that, let me just add a little bit of highlights on these trees. Okay, and that's gonna be very light, so I'm going to use some of that gray, light gray. Okay, and we're just gonna very light, and we're just gonna put it on one side. I don't know if you saw that. We're just gonna put it on one side here, one side of the tree. Okay, I did the left of the tree, so that means I'm gonna do the light on the right side of the tree. You see that? That means that the light is hitting some of these trees, so it gets lighter on one side. See that? Okay, now I'm ready for some trees in the front. Okay, how are we going to do those trees? Same way. Let's pick up the thick one again. And we're going to say, I'm going to do one here. And I'm going to show you how all the way out in your canvas. Okay, all the way out. There you go. That's just one. Okay, just kind of, don't worry about the trunk because we're going to be adding color to that. Okay, that's just one. Okay, and what happens is when you do something in the front, which is the foreground, it pushes everything to the back. Okay, that's perspective for you. Okay, remember that little big block bar head there? I don't like it, so watch this. I'm going to cover it. You see? So there's no mistakes in your painting. There's no mistakes. There's always a reason for everything. Okay? And what I'm doing is I'm going to keep this one shorter. The difference. I'm keeping this one shorter, keeping this one longer. And the reason why is because this one is further back. You don't want to keep them all the same size in the same line. There you go. Okay, now I might want, I'm going to go ahead and add one right here. I'm not going to do as many as I have on my original painting, but I am going to add one here. I want to make sure I don't cover. This one is going to go this way. Okay, that's just a baby tree. Okay, that's just a baby tree. Baby tree. Little thick, just a baby tree. There you go. Okay, where would you like to see another one? Okay, I heard you. Okay, let's do this one right here. How about that? Okay. And I like to remind you that you don't have to do as many trees as I'm doing. You can create less or you can create more. I'm just going to give it another one here. Okay. Kind of make it a little thicker at the bottom where the trunk is. Okay. There you go. How's that? You see the perspective? I definitely do. Okay. I'm going to add one more here, but this one is going to be in the distance. And that's going to go that way. Okay. Okay. I know they look like they're floating, but I'm not worried about it because we're going to come back and attach them to the ground. How's that? Okay, we're going to do the same thing that we did in the back with the little branches here. Remember these? We're going to just add as many as you want. We're going to do the same thing. But again, I'm going to pick up my thinner liner because I don't want them to be that too thick. Okay, so I'm rinsing that one and picking this one up. And as I'm doing this, since you already know what to do, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee in this meantime. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that. You see that? It's... Okay, we're right here. Woo-hoo. Okay, let's... There you go. Sing, hum, whisper, make noise. As long as you relax, it's all about relaxing your mind. Actually, good therapy. You relax your, not only your mind, but your body relaxes so much. Sometimes we get tense because we get nervous. And there's no need to be nervous. If you start getting anxious or nervous, just stop and pause it. Take a walk around the room. Take a look at your painting. Because sometimes when you're looking at your painting so close up for long periods of time, you might get negative because you might say, oh, I don't like it. But I guarantee you, walk away. When you come back, you're going to see it with a different set of eyes. And if you want an opinion, ask your friends. Your true friends, that is. How they like your painting. What do they recommend? Okay. How's that? I'm going to play with this one a little bit more. It's almost like an umbrella. Okay. How's that? I like it. One more here. I like it. Okay, we're going to stop now because I want to work. I want us to work right here. And we're going to jump here before we add more flowers on the left, okay? I heard you say, what about the road? The road, if you want to do the road, we can do the road. That's no problem. Okay, well, to start the road, let's pick up a little bit of brown, okay? And for this, I'm going to say the row went somewhere in the back. Let me pick up a little bit of white so you can see what I'm doing because that brown's not showing up a lot. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is the back of the row, and it's going to disappear behind those trees, so you really can't see what's back there, okay? You see, I'm going back and forth, back and forth. See that? And it's going to get whiter as you come to the foreground. How's this? See? And if you notice some of those little blacks in between those negative spaces, that's fine. You can leave those. Doesn't have to be perfect, and then it gives that pretty effect. Once that dry, we come back and give it a little bit more highlights. Okay, so let's continue with the bush. Okay, so what I'm going to do with that bush is I'm going to go and make it a little darker here to kind of make it stand out. Okay, you see what I'm talking. I just flipped my brush just to make sure I get the paints. Okay. I'm tapping. I just flipped my brush again. You want to go back and forth, flipping your brushes to get those pretty effects that you are looking for. Okay. And I'm going. This is where I told you not to worry about those trunks. Watch this. Okay. That's why. Same thing for this one. Okay. Not only they're going to serve as a shadow, but we're going to make them into little bushes as well. Okay. There's one back here. We don't see the tree, but we see the shadow. Okay. Now, we're going to do the same thing here. Okay. And here. How's that? Darken it. Darken it. Make sure all those pretty colors come in. This is my walkway. And I'm going to do the same thing here. This is gonna be dark because it's gonna be bushes here. Okay, the road disappears behind this little hill here, so we don't see that. Keeping the back small and whitening the front. Okay, look at this. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go this way. You see how I curved it? If you curved it, and then when you put the highlights on it, it looks like it's coming down. The hill's coming down. If I were to make them straight, all these shadows, if I were to make them all straight, it looks like it's flat. But we don't want that. I want it to look like little hills. If you're walking down this path, and you want to walk up the hill, you're able to. If it's a rainstorm, more than likely nothing will get flooded because again, you are on a hill. How's that? I like it, I like it, I like it. I'm hoping that you like yours too. If there's something different you want me to paint in my upcoming videos, leave me comments below. I'll be more than happy to consider what you want me to paint. I love ideas. We think sometimes ideas come up easy, but they don't. Okay, now I'm going to clean that brush with water. Okay, and I'm going to add highlights to all this. So let's grab, I'm going to grab green, bright green. Okay, and then we add some yellow to it just to kind of make it stand out. Okay, again, I'm just tapping, tapping, tapping. See, not only we have the shadow from the trees, but now we have little bushes as well. Remember, keep your brush coming down. Don't go straight, because then you'll form a straight line. You don't want to, see? Watch this. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Pick up some more. Tap, tap. See? Then this one is going to go into the roads. There you go. How's that? Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. Let me pick up some yellow. So just to kind of give it a different color. See? Isn't that beautiful? It looks like little flowers. Who knows? Only the person looking at your painting decides what they are. It could be flowers, or it could just be grass lit up. Okay, how's that? I'm gonna pick up a little bit of white just to kind of give it a lighter, too much, a little bit here on the edge, just a little bit on the edge. Tap, tap, tap. Okay. How's that? Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. You see, again, I'm moving my colors around, not just keeping them in one straight angle. Or I'm not even keeping them in one location. I'm moving my colors around. It looks more alive. It looks prettier. Okay? Look at that. Okay, while I'm doing that, I'm going to stop for a second, and I want to go ahead and put some highlights on these trees, on the big ones, and then we're going to add some more flowers to it. We're also going to do that little pink bush that's here before we start on the fence. Okay, so I'm going to clean my brush. Okay, let's do the highlight first, which means I'm going to pick up some white. and black, turn it to gray, okay, and again I'm gonna go on this side, okay, same thing here, pick up a little bit more, and you don't have to have the shadows or the highlights all through the tree. If it skips, that even looks even more natural. So you see, like here it skipped, here skipped, and I didn't connect. They don't have to connect. They do not have to connect. Okay? They look more natural if they do not connect. And always make sure you keep the highlights all in the same area. Don't do highlights here in the front of this tree and then move over into the back. Always keep them the same, because the sunlight is hitting the front of the tree, not the back of the tree. Okay, there you go. Let's continue with this one. This little wet here. Let me see. Yeah, this is wet, but it's picking up some of that black that I had there, which is okay. Okay, so we're going to just a little bit. You see that one was a little too white. So we're gonna go back, a little bit of black, just to darken it again. See, it's too, there you go. And a little bit here. I wanna give it a little bit more highlight on that one. So let's do it again, right here. A little bit more. Ah, that's good enough. There you go. Beautiful. Okay. Now let's give it some color. Actually, before we give color, since we're gonna use the pinks here, I might as well do a little bit of branch here. I'm gonna do this one, the thick one, but I'm just gonna keep it thin because I dropped the thin one and I don't wanna bend down to have to get it. Okay? There you go. Same thing that you did on the trees. It's just that this is a little bush that came with branches on the side. Okay? Okay, let's make them a little longer. Okay. There you go. A little longer there. Okay. I need to know when to stop. I get too excited and I just want to keep on going. And I don't want to do that. Okay. Again, let me pick up my little crazy brush. And we're going to add, I'm going to start with more red than anything, because then I want to add the highlights to it. Okay. So let's start here on this little branch here. There you go. I'll go back and add more white to it, but right now I just want to get the effect, make sure I'm doing this the right way. Okay. See, I'm just covering some. Okay, beautiful. I'm tapping. I'm tapping. Tapping. Continue to tap. Tap lightly. Don't tap too hard. If you tap too hard, you will not get the pretty effects. So keep it light. Light, light, light. Pick up a little bit of, there you go. There you go. Let's see, right about here. Now we're going to add some here. Pick up a little bit more red. You can fill it up as much as you want to. Okay. A little bit of white just to kind of light up light up some of them. Now I don't know what kind of tree this is. I seen it in different places that we've been to, but it doesn't matter. It's my painting, it's your painting, and as long as it looks pretty and you enjoy looking at it, that's all it matters. Okay, let me just dry my brush without washing, and we're going to do a little bit of pink here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a touch here, just to say, ooh, one is coming from here. There you go. Okay, now say I'm going to do this, just kind of balance it. I'm just going to do a little bit here. Just pretend that there's a little bush here that grew on the ground. Okay, and little flowers went here too. Tap, tap, tap. Little flowers, the seeds have jumped all over the place. So now you have little flowers growing all over the place. Looks pretty. It balances your painting. How's that? Beautiful. Draw your brush, pick up a little bit of yellow. Okay, a little bit of yellow here. Okay, where can we use yellow? Maybe yellow here. Maybe a little bit of yellow here. Yellow here. Okay, pick up a little bit of white. Tap, tap. This means that the sunlight is coming through the forest from above and is hitting certain spots. That's why you're going to see some darks and you're going to see some lights as well. Okay, let me just give it a little bit of darkness here. Same here. Just tap. I love to paint light, nothing too heavy. Okay guys, you know what, we're ready for that fence. Okay, let's see, we're going to use, you see I haven't used not even half of what I pulled out because I just had them handy just in case, but we're gonna do the fence. Okay, let's get this. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm going to use this one again because I don't want to bend down and pick up the one that dropped. Now, the fence is going to start here. However, we got to keep it real small because of the distance, which is the perspective. The small fence is going to go somewhere back here, and it's going to be very small. Okay, very small, and then it's going to get bigger as you come forward. Okay, pick up some more paint. Okay, look at that here. See the difference? They're getting bigger. Okay, I'm going to put this one here. Going to put this one here, put this one here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Who knows how long this fence has been here. Okay, how's that? We don't want to get fancy. Now when you experiment with this, you can get fancy. But right now, what we want to do is just learn. And again, it's almost like drawing. I love to draw. I love to sketch. Okay. Now this, you can say it's a pink forest, but what you're going to do is, you like it, you're going to paint 2 or 3 and make them different. Say you want to do one in the winter, Instead of flowers, you'll have snow. You want to do one with, you could say different flowers in the spring. You see that? Now, what I'm going to do is, because this is private property on this side, now this other side belongs to somebody else, and these people want to keep this private, they're the ones that are, the only ones that are going to have the fence, not these people. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to connect, okay? And I'm going to connect like this, okay? And I'm going to connect again like this. Now, because I did the fence here, it pushed that tree back on the other side of the fence, but I'm going to bring it back, and I'll show you how to do that. So I wanted that tree on this side, not on that side, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do one more here to just kind of connect that curve. Here we go, okay? Pick up some more. Now it's going to get wider here, okay? And then it's going to go off. How's that? Okay, we're going to do the same thing. I grab some of my pink. I don't want pink. Okay, so again, it curved. My hands are shaking. There you go. But it's okay, because again, it doesn't have to be straight. And if it gets too wobbly, fine. It's just an old fence. It's not my fault that the fence is wobbly. It's the owner's fault. Look at that. Okay, let me show you how to bring that tree forward. So we're going to grab a little bit of black, okay? More black. And we're just going to, picked up some green. It's okay. Okay, hopefully you see what I'm doing here. To attach it back into the ground. So clean my brush, give it a little bit of highlights, put a little pink in there for the flowers, just a tap, just to kind of, okay, give it a, I like it. Okay, that's enough. You see, do you notice how that tree came forward on this side of the fence? Sometimes that's easier than trying to go around it. Just go over it, and then when you're done, you can go over it again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of shadowing with the same brush, the liner, because we need something small. Okay, and it's almost going to be like, instead of gray, you know what I'm going to do? See, at the last minute I can change my mind, so can you. I'm going to grab some brown. How's that? Brown. And I'm going to put the shadows here because they're on this side. You see, it doesn't have to be fancy. See, just a little bit on one side. I wouldn't worry too much about the ones in the back because they're so small you can't see them anyway. Okay, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. How's that? Now we're going to, not that brush, we're going to take some dark green and add a touch of black. Okay, because I just want to kind of do this to show because the fence has been in there for a while. And it wasn't just buried yesterday. Okay. You see? Beautiful. I'm going to give it some highlights on that road. Let me clean my brush. Highlight. I'm going to pick up some brown and a tap of white. And again, wiggle. Wiggle. Now I'm going to add a little bit of white to kind of lighten it up. If you lighten it too much, remember you can always come back, grab some black, and just kind of wiggle. See? Wiggle. Wiggle. There you go. Here's a shadow, 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 shadow. These are shadows from the post. From the French post. You see that? Shadows. Shadows, shadow, shadows. Okay. Okay, guys. I hope I didn't miss anything, but I think we have a finished painting here. You know what that means? We're going to sign. We're going to sign. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up what color. Oh, you can also add purple flowers. You know, my intentions were to use purple on some of those flowers, but I didn't do it. But you can. It's your painting. Hey, guys, have fun. Have lavender fun. Where am I going to sign? You know what? I'm going to sign white so it can stand out. Okay. So I'm going to sign here. How's that? Guys, you have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining me. I'm going to see you on our next adventure, okay? Keep painting. Have fun. God bless you. Adios, amigos.